is directly connected to perception. Only when you're perceiving, it is happening. When you step out of the dream, it just vanishes. When you go to sleep, you enter that dream space. But when you wake up, that dream is not sitting there for you to go back to it again. There is nothing, zero. It is an experience. It has happened to you. The world is exactly that. Your entire past, the entire history of humanity, whatever it is that you can identify as the world, is simply a part of your memory, is knowledge, information. Because you've been accumulating this in such a way, so relentlessly, every day, morning till evening, you have given it a concrete structure, a form. Your dream has a shape. You have made it real, just so that you can wake up the next day with a sense of feeling that you're waking up in the same world. In actuality, you never wake up in the world. When you wake up, the world emerges. Your waking up, which is basically falling into sleep, is the process of creation. It happens from inside your dream. If only you can watch this process, you will see there is a moment when there are no sensations. There is nothing to experience. And then slowly the clouds begin to gather. Then thunder, then rain. Then one lightning strikes you and you wake up. And you're like, oh, this is my body. On the background, this is all happening. On the foreground, you're thinking about something. On the background, you are always surprised when you wake up. It's like, why? Oh, another day. Pay close attention, you will see. You never wake up with full certainty. There's always some confusion. Why? Where was I? Why do I have to get up? It takes a moment to gather things. And then quickly, you bring in language, which is your biggest crutch. Without that, you cannot even walk. You cannot make sense of anything. It is language that turns everything that is new and fresh, this new dream, into something old. You are seeing everything newly for the first time. But in language, you already know what that is. Oh, this is my house. This is my husband. This is my wife. In language, they've all been there. You simply slept and woke up. In actuality, this process of sleeping and waking up is the process of creation and destruction. If the world is physical, then this is impossible. Because the world is not physical, it is purely mental. To be able to understand this is the biggest challenge. There is nothing physical in the world. A chair feels real because you have an experience, you have a relationship with it. In relationship to you, it is something real. Otherwise, when you are not interacting with it, you are just seeing an image in your dream. It is not solid, it's not physical. When you interact with it, you experience a certain sensation of solidity. Why? Because you are also part of the dream. You're not something real that is experiencing the dream. Because your body is also part of the dream, your mind is also part of the dream, the interaction between things appear real. It's only when something real is introduced into the dream, that is when this real can say that chair is not real, this body is not real. Only when you have experienced something real can you actually question this dream. If you are lost in the dream, of course, for you, this is the only reality. You know nothing else apart from this. You are not trying to understand this dream. You are trying to make it more real. That is what derivative knowledge is. What is experiential knowledge? Experiential knowledge dissolves the dream. Experiential knowledge introduces wakefulness, introduces awareness. Derivative knowledge induces sleep. And what is sleep? It is to fall asleep in an idea. There is no other definition of sleep. Sleep is not unconsciousness. When you become attached to an idea, you are asleep in that idea. When you wake up in the morning, you are asleep in the body. When you go to work, you're asleep as an employee. When you are a father, when you're a mother, when you're a child, what you are identifying with is your sleep. Now that identification requires some explanation. Hence, there is someone trying to understand the world objectively without realizing that life is pure subjectivity. Objectively, logically, you can draw a few lines, connect a few dots, and come up with a theory. Take solar system. The model of explanation is the only thing that is real for us. Solar system is not how we imagine it. Have you seen the solar system with sun at the center and planets revolving around it? These are all images we have created using our computers, using derivatives of derivatives. Mind replicated in the form of an instrument. And yet, in our mind, that image is real. Conceptually, it is all right. There's no need to fight this. But to say that this is it, this is life, there is nothing more to know, there's nothing more to experience, is to miss the point completely. Direct experience is complete. It is deeply satisfying. It is deeply nourishing. It patches up many irregularities, many holes. It completes things. On the contrary, simple accumulation of information on the outside puts you in a state of sleep. It blinds you. Go on a journey, inquiring into the nature of reality, and simply make a distinction between direct experience and something you are simply watching. You're not experiencing. When you're sitting in front of the computer, you're not experiencing, you're just watching. Let's say the president of the country. Have you seen him actually? Have you shaken hands with him? But he's very real for you. Now think about it. This is derivative knowledge. It is not your direct experience. What you call the world is white noise that is coming from everywhere. It is real only at a certain level. When you are engaged with it, when you are thinking about it. But otherwise, when you step away from that, your world is so simple, so extraordinarily simple that there is no world even. There is just a dreamer and the dream. Every moment you are passing through some emotion, some feeling, some sensation. This is primary, this is foundational. Everything else is secondary. Is emotion physical? Is feeling physical? Is sensation physical? No. The most important things you feel most of the time has nothing to do with the physical world. And yet, there is this deep assumption that you are physical. In your own experience, if only you can watch your life enough, by discarding all borrowed knowledge, you will see you're passing through an experience. every day, every moment, you are being taught something. You are being introduced to something about you. There's nothing objective in the world. There's nothing outside. You have tumbled and fallen into a dream. In your effort to wake up, you are bumping with the dream. That's fear. That's anger. That's frustration. That's your self-identity. Where is the world here? Where is planet Earth? Where is the solar system? Where is the universe? And yet there are people who are so obsessed with this idea that they are willing to dedicate their whole lives for something purely conceptual. If you were to tell this to people, they'll just jump. People don't even know how stupid they are, how ignorant they are. Their ignorance is such a norm. It is such a natural conversation. To question it, to challenge it, itself is the problem. Bhrigu Varuni went to his father Varuna saying, "Sir, teach me Brahman." He told him this: food, vital force, eye, ear, mind, speech. That's it. This was the instruction. He's given the most direct path. Experiential knowledge, when it is passed down, this is how it will sound. Food. How important is food for the sustenance of your life? Is it a direct experience? Is it a complete experience? Is it a nourishing experience? Yes. Then food is real. It is something that you experience. Even if you leave aside the ultimate reality, still you have to make a distinction between your reality and someone else's reality. That is the major challenge. Because you can only begin from your reality. You cannot begin from a borrowed space. If you are shifted in your self-identity, if you're not even in your reality, if you're stuck in someone else's idea of reality, then your first task is to bring yourself to a familiar distortion, a familiar experience, which is still a delusion, but that's the only place where you can start from. Food, vital force. There's prana, there's breath. Vital force is simply breath. Breath is not air, it is prana, it's life itself. Again, how is this experience? Is it nourishing? Is it complete? Is it borrowed or is it your own? Have you ever experienced someone else's breath? Do you sit and watch someone else breathing? Can you create concepts out of it? Nothing. How important is breath? This is your world. What is your world that you can refer to, that you can identify as your own and say, this is my world? World is not a globe. That's a completely distorted vision. Think about it. To see Earth as a globe, you need to go so far away. It's like saying, I want to go so far away that I want to see this thing very minimally. Because if I get close to it, it appears to be something different. But when I'm really far away, It's just a glow. The simplest of explanation is what science loves. To truly understand life is very complex for science because it has not taken into account consciousness. Hence, it has to define every nook and cranny by its own explanations. So, easiest way is to go far away where your perception is so limited that everything looks simple, organized. So, to try and explain life by distorting it further, how can that lead to truth? Eye, ear, mind, speech. Look at the beauty of this statement. Varuna is not even talking about the body as a collective thing, because he knows that collectivity is just an idea. When you experience something, how are you experiencing it? You experience it like an eye, something you're seeing, something you're hearing, something you're thinking about, the mind. And speech, words. Put all these things together, you have a dream. What are you doing in a dream? You're seeing, undeniable. You are hearing. You are experiencing something. There is no need to connect all these experiences. Just go deeper into each one of them. He's given him a way of exploring life from the most familiar. These are the most familiar experiences. From here, go deeper. Inquire.